Alrighty, so for my fourth and final story, my elevation story, I'm going to go ahead and share with you a very major learning experience I had back in November 4th of 2009. It was a regular Tuesday night leading up until Wednesday morning with myself and two of my close girlfriends, Lisa and Jackie. Just regular Tuesday night, bored college girls just wanting to get out of town, go to a friend's house, socialize, get rid of the everyday stresses. So we decided to head down over to Oceanside. We were all from Escondido. We decided to drive up to Oceanside, it being kind of local. We didn't want to go downtown San Diego or anything crazy. Just go up the 78 to Oceanside, to a mutual friend's house. There we were just hanging out, doing things that college students do, socializing, having fun. Of course, drinking was involved. But prior to actually getting there, we actually were really smart about it. We made driving arrangements. We said that none of us were going to drive. We all agreed upon spending the night at our friend's house over in Oceanside. So once we were there, none of us were even thinking about, ooh, who's going to drive home or who's going to be our DD. We were just kind of knocking them back, having the time of our life, not even worrying about it. So about a couple hours into the night, midway into the night, I'm pretty intoxicated at the moment, myself and my friend Lisa. And that's when we kind of realized our friend Jackie just kind of standing there being Jackie. If you knew Jackie, you'd understand what I mean by that. She's kind of just not a Debbie Downer, but, requires a lot of attention and a lot to have fun. Kind of thinks, that she's better than the rest, I guess. So she was just kind of standing there, arms crossed. She probably had maybe about not even one full drink, while myself and Lisa are just enjoying ourselves, talking to everybody, about 4 or 5 drinks in, and she's just not having it, just not having a good time. She comes up to us and actually tells us that she wants to leave. She doesn't want to spend the night. She didn't know anybody there, even though they were our friends, and her being friends of ours, of course, makes people over in Oceanside friends of Jackie's. If we're welcome, she's welcome. Fortunately, she didn't feel that way. She decided she just wanted to drive, or wanted to get home. She didn't want to spend the night. So, of course, me trying to just better the situation, trying to avoid us having to drive, a good 20 minutes home, I suggest we go to a local bar, which was, walking distance. I figured maybe a change of scenery or, different people, a different atmosphere would change her mood, or she would just forget and, hopefully have a few drinks and maybe fall asleep and forget the whole thing happened. Fortunately, that wasn't the case for Jackie. We went to the bar. Again, myself and my friend Lisa continued having a few beers, having a great time, and Jackie's still standing there, arms crossed, not having it. Again, comes up to us and says, Paula, please, I want to go home. I'm not having fun. So when we're leaving the bar, we actually come across my car in the parking lot, and me being a very not smart and drunk friend at the time, just says, okay, I'm not a very confrontational person. I didn't want to argue about it. She wanted to leave. She wasn't comfortable. It was my car that got us there, so I figured it should be my car and, getting us back. So, not even thinking twice about it, I hop behind the wheel. I get in the car, drive out of the parking lot. About not even 2 blocks down, I catch myself swerving all over the place. I was a complete mess. I couldn't even drive a straightaway for 2 blocks. So I immediately pull over, and myself and Lisa talk to Jackie for about 5-10 minutes. We convince her, or try and talk to her into spending the night. Again, she's not having it. It's either Jackie's way or the highway. She says, you know, no, I don't want to spend the night. I'm not having fun there. I don't know these people. I just want to be in my cozy bed. Whatever. So we finally convince her to drive. We say, you know, we had prior arrangements. You're the one that wants to go home so bad. You have to drive. You drank the least by far of us three. You had maybe one drink. We're about 5 to 7 in. So we're obviously in no condition to drive. And you, on the other hand, being that you want to get home, should obviously drive. Thankfully, she finally agrees. So we swap positions. I hop in the back seat. She hops behind the driver's wheel and proceeds to drive us back home to Escondido. Once in Escondido, unfortunately for me, sorry, just checking the time, she actually lives right down the street from my friend Lisa, so she goes to drop Lisa off, then drives down the road to her house and hops out of my car, says bye to me, doesn't really ask if I'm okay to drive, if I want to spend the night, you know, if she should wait for me to call someone, nothing like that, just kind of hops out, says bye, and leaves. So that leaves me by myself, again, not thinking, not in the right state of mind. I, of course, just figure, you know, I've done it before. I can drive home one more time. You know, what's the worst that could happen? Nothing's happened to me before. Nothing will happen to me this time. So proceed to drive home, which I'm probably about 5-10 minutes away from Jackie's place. Once not even paying attention to how fast I was going, I guess I was speeding because I was practically home, literally 20 feet away from my apartment complex, and I check my rearview mirror. There's a cop there with the flashing lights. I'm getting pulled over. So I pull into my apartment complex. He starts questioning me, asks me if I've been drinking. I, of course, not completely being honest with him. I tell him, yes, I have. I had 1 or 2 drinks about 5 hours prior, even though it was more like 5 to 7, about an hour prior. So he sees right through it. He pulls me out of the car, runs sobriety tests on me, then finally gets out the breathalyzer, has me blow into the breathalyzer. I blow a .15, which is pretty much double the legal limit of .08. So I automatically get thrown in the back of his cop car, takes me down to the Vista jail, and that is where I stayed for the next 13 longest, worst hours of my life. But I can honestly say that I am glad I got this DUI, just because it was such a wake-up call for me. I would drink and drive all the time without thinking twice about it, and now looking back at it, I just realize how completely idiotic and selfish that was. You know, I was putting my life in danger for one, and risking the lives of everyone else around me. So honestly glad, you know, I got a DUI back in 2009. It really put everything into perspective for me. It's not fun to get a DUI. It's not cheap. I'm still paying, you know, monthly for this DUI. You know, a year and 5 months later, I'm still paying for it. So it's not fun. You have to go to AA meetings. They treat you like you're an alcoholic. And so, moral of my story, just I wanted to hopefully, with my story, inspire all you to just kind of slow down, think twice, you know, before drinking and driving, and have a prior plan that you stick to, which is most important, just because it's ultimately in the end just not worth it and completely selfish and stupid on your part if you do decide to get behind the wheel. Thank you.